Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to game number 5 of this Play All 5 series between Minimalt and Tabben. This is part of the Esoc Premier League number 4, week 1, between the Hudson Bay Bigs and the Crassier Management Company, and we've had an absolutely exquisite series between these two players so far, and all signs are pointing towards an exceptional game 5 as well. Minimalt spawning to the northwest of the map, Dakota in the colour blue, playing as the French. With Tabben, he's playing as the Germans, spawning to the southeast of the map in the colour red. Market start here for Germany. A couple of beaver treasures in base he may want to pick up. Does have enough resources to buy the market if he wants to go and do so, but I don't think he's doing. Maybe, yes he does. What treasure is he looking for here? 90 food, potential sell and buy at the market trick, but he's actually picking up 40 gold, 10 short to buy for a house. We'll need to quickly sort that one out. Yeah, one villager goes on to the gold mine. Might want to get a settler wagon as well. Yeah, there you go, settler wagon moving across. Always funny when you're calling players and players respond like like a second afterwards, as if they're listening to you right now. Disclaimer: they're not. I'm watching this offline in the spectate lobbies, but this is pretty good action. I've been following this live this whole series, and this fifth game looking promising already. Minimalt working on 75 wood treasure. Really struggling with this wolf though at the moment. Picks it off. I think Tabben's got it. I think Tabben's picked this up. He has. And Minimalt actually noted that Tabben had picked the treasure up. So he's actually abandoned the treasure early on and trying to get some damage on Tabben himself. But failed to back off and looking at Minimalt. Oh no. Oh no. He's trying to get that treasure to incorporate into his builds so he can get the house down, but at the moment he's having to pull every villager off onto wood to get the resources to build a house. He's stopped vill production. The amount of resources just lost with all your villagers moving around. Forced to be building a house as well. You know, trying to age up 13 vill is just not going to happen. It's going to be 14 vill. Could even be 15. He's going to look to recover position with a 75 food treasure, but Tabben's feeling fine. Let's look at his point of view, and he's currently got 16 vills, 1 in queue. Yeah, when you've got 618 and you've just popped your final villager, I suppose you might as well just save it and just age up 16 vill, a bit more tempo, get that train pass down early, get the shipments running early. Like, this is great momentum here for Tabben. That age 1 springing him forward. Big food treasure here. The woods treasure steal as well. That will help him on the trading post. And denying Minimalt, who's had a horrible start. Like, it's not his fault that it hasn't gone well from his point of view. But yeah, now looking to be aging up afterwards. 14 vill. Wow, it's training his 14th vill and aging up behind this, but that's a lot of our time now. Clicking up at 3 minutes 13. Likely to be up in the next age. 440, 445. It's going to be... Oh, the back herd as well. Hit for Minimalt. Oh, if there's a button he could press to say, I want to play a rehost this game, he'll be spamming it right now, but he just can't. It is just one and out. That's the whole beauty of tournament games, is this is where it's all matter. Ladder, you're fighting for elo, but kind of doesn't matter. The tournament games, it does matter. It's 2-2 between these two players in the best of 5, and who can win that final point for their team for this week. In the grand scheme of things, a single point might not overly matter, but for the players, it's always so good to go back to your team manager and your team saying, yes, I won this best of 5 series, or I won this playoff 5 series, and I have got X amount of points for this team, and I got X amount of points more than this other person for his team, and you just always feel so good about that, and that just gives you so much confidence and momentum into the following weeks. And Tabben here looking, to be in a charging position, taking no prisoners, uber serious here, going for a front wall between the Creed settlement and the cliff. 1 train post down already. I think it's just mainly just having spare APM villager out that way, maybe doing so. Has 2 herds in base. We're starting bison, pronghorn herded in, another herd not too far by. Stable houses, playing very standard. Looking to get steel traps as well, I assume. Yeah, got 125 remaining. Might actually say steel traps, go for another house to ensure he's got all the population he needs. Getting that first Ulan in queue, I think, was his priority. And then we'll get that behind. Explorer, though, inside of French player's base, sees the age up here, only just coming in quite late, about 450. Wood crate still on the floor. Minimalt is sending full CDB first, training CDB researching hunting dogs, but ideally you get this kind of tech in transition quite early, or, well, some players might get it in H1, but it's not quite happened here. Minimalt getting the Cree settlement, has 2 trading posts as well. The only problem I see here from Minimalt's point of view is that, yeah, he needs to get some sort of military building down, because you know that Germany's coming with cavalry soon, whether it's age-up cavalry or cavalry actually being trained from the stable, and that's a full batch of 5 crossing the map very quickly, and single bits of cavalry are running around. Actually, one cavalry here finding the Explorer here from Minimalt. His Explorer's name, I date my double cousin. A standard in American culture, it seems. Jokes, don't hate me. One villager, half HP, but denies the stable. Like, so this is crucial. Like, that stable's come up at 6 minutes. It's going to take a long time until any hussars are coming out from there. And there's 5 Ulans charging into the base now. A couple of HP vills. And Minimalt just has to bundle all of them in for the time being. Gold comes out. And, well, he actually kind of needs the gold here to train the hussars to deal with the Ulans. He doesn't actually want the gold to age up. He's got another 600 gold crate shipment if he wants to try. He's not going to try and age up in this situation. He's just so far behind. He needs to whittle down the Ulans. He needs to get some hussars out and protect his position. Some more age up Ulans, again being split in different paths. Another batch of 5 Ulans crossing again. And how many hussars is Mini going to get? He's trying to go for Cree CDB and French CDB. Only gets 2 hussars out, which that's not going to work here from Minimalt's point of view. Tabben just enjoying this position, having the entire French eco idled with the 6 Ulans nearby, but there's been more coming in. There you go. There's another 5, 11. What do the hussars and War Dog do? They don't do. They can't push them back. He's got so much gold from the crates. Can't actually afford another CDB and a hussar. You can train one or the other. Just need to get on the food. And Minimalt's in trouble. He's sending in wood crates, but needed like a 3 huss shipment there just to try and stay a little bit afloat. Like, just get some breathing space. Get on the hunting. Villagers frontline again. Looking at the vills on the gold mine. They're going back into the TC. In, out, in, out. They're doing the hokey cokey. Shaking it all about. And this hasn't gone quite well at the moment. And the score lead is starting to open up and diverge between the 2 players. Haven't taken a great position in this game. Another shipment here for France. He does have 2 trading posts. Will it be 600 gold or will it be 3 huss? He is kind of housed. He will build a few more houses down. The Cree CDB do come out. Has Tabben seen this though? He might not have actually seen that CDB being trained, but you kind of assume that they are being trained because, well, why has he gone for the post otherwise? Like, you don't just make a post and not age up. CDBs with their base attack, no blunderbuss research. 1 hussar in queue, maybe second queue, 3rd in queue. Had to buy at the market to trade that, and that's an expensive way to get some hussars out. Yes, he is going to pick this off. Is Tabben pushing with other units? No, he's not. He's aging up at the moment, so still got 6 Ulans on the field. A couple of them are just hovering around, raiding a few vills. He's just trying to find some Cree CDBs, but they're hidden nicely on the tree. You can't see any dead animals nearby. Got his own Cree CDB post down, or Cree post trained CDBs. Aging up. Got nearly another shipment ready to go. Life's pretty good here for Germany. He's got enough spare resources to max out on all these units. Maybe get Cree Tannin as well. War Wagon is his first unit being trained. Skirm as well. Minimalt was having a bit of a comeback there, in the sense that he's cleaned up all the hussars and he's actually getting some decent cover back. He's actually protected the CDBs coming back from out in the open. That is a nice little play for Minimalt. So they're kind of secure, to say the least. He's now sending gold to age. All of these villagers should be on gold, on food. They are steel trap boosted as well, so it's pretty decent. The only thing now is, though, he may age up, but he might not have anything to really hold the early tempo. Tabben taking middle map control here with a barracks locking down that 5k gold mine, which might be a nice place for Tabben's follow-up economy to rally to later on. Still has more gold than needed because of the 600 gold crates on the food. Hasn't quite run out of hunt in base yet. Will need to push out for the final hunt on the top side, which I think he will do now. Actually sees that Ulan's been pulled in. Hussars will capture that. With the first Ulan units here from... the first H3 units here from Tabben, let's say, on the field. Skirmishers. A full batch of 5 war wagons and some extra Ulans as well. So looking very strong. That was 1,000 wood being shipped by Tabben. Like, France here doesn't have the luxury of having time to send in 1k wood or gold crates. You just haven't got the time. He needs units straight away, while Tabben's like, right, I've got my space, I've got my breathing room, I can send in 1k wood. And I think Tabben's going to greatly enjoy his position in a bit. Veteran Ulans coming in. He's going to have another shipment soon. It's not quite going to be a mercenary shipment, but I'm sure it'll be 9 Ulans. He does have so much wood here for housing, so it might be another 2 houses. Maybe another production facility. It could be a second... could be a second stable, honestly. Have just mass Ulan war wagon production. France, they really struggle with mass upgraded Ulans, so I don't really know how the best place to do it. A lot of vills trying to kill the explorer there. A lot of idle time being wasted. Not a lot of units being made here from Minimum. I'm sure he is actually going to get some more out though. But this is tough. Like, he's always sending goons, so sending skirms, making double batch of skirms, hoping to get a goon batch as well. Because the problem is he's now got enough to contest with the war wagons, the skirmishers, and actually get some good trades, especially with like a Minutemen, Corps, maybe CDB's tanking. But the problem is there's the best part of like 14, 13 Ulans crossing the field, and Tabben, in terms of heavy cavalry units, he's got 19. Minimort's got 1 Dragoon and 5 Hussars. That's not really going to be enough when the proverbial hits the fan, let's say. And Minimort needs to quickly rectify the situation, either getting Halberdiers out or maybe train some more Dragoons. I actually think Halberdier play versus Germany is quite well, because you do know that Germany often just essentially smash their cavalry in Z move. It's when the Ulans are fighting, they're cost effective, they're trading. When they're not fighting, they just haven't got the HP and they just melt. So they kind of want to get stuck in the action as quick as possible. So a couple of Halberdiers may push those guys away. There you go. There's more Dragoons being trained. A Dragoon shipment, but it's house at the wrong time. Try to get the house up to finish the batch, but it hasn't quite happened. He's going to retrain a Dragoon, maybe get another skirmisher batch going. It's not the end of the world, but he needs more. He's lacking that wood shipment in the sense that he hasn't got the infrastructure down what he requires, where Tabben's just kind of taking his time, taking the space, taking the map. Now it's in the Jaegers, train a batch of war wagons as well, 143 population. I think once the Jaegers come in and this war wagon batch completes, he's going to try and get a full batch of 5 war wagons. He doesn't need any more skirmishers if he's sending Jaegers. Then it's going to be showtime, and we're going to be attacking and pushing in. So much hunt still under control. Good upgrades. Have we got steel traps yet? Well, we have got steel traps yet. Just checking, you know, sometimes you just have to check with these things. Jaeger's nearly on the floor. War wagon batch, yeah, he's got enough resources for a full batch of war wagons. Might train a few more skirms, just so he may try and still get a full batch of war wagons. Oh, he's just continuously. I think he just tried to really pump out that final batch of skirms, but actually has enough eco for the 5th war wagon, and that surprised me. But then again, maybe not. He does have the 5 CDBs gathering as well, and these guys are on gold, so that's where the extra resource came in to complete the batch. Jaeger's crossing the map. Got 10 war wagons. He's got 22 Ulans. Unfortunately, the army size here for Tabben is just utterly huge. It's how do you contest this? You don't. What you need, okay, you need falconets, you need some walls, you need some buildings, you need some god-awful pathing issues. Minimort is out of shipment cycles though. He's kind of out of phase. He's sent in 3 Crassiers as the next shipment, but that's where he kind of needed the falconets just to at least put some pressure on. But Skirm's getting caught by some Ulans as well. There's a raiding batch of Hussars. They'll get a good raid on, but the problem is the fight is here now in the base, and Ulan's charging in. He might lose most of them, but the thing is, it doesn't really matter because the skirm is uncontested. The Jaegers, the skirmishers versus goon skirm here from Minimalt, and Tavern's got endless amount of war wagons to deal with whatever France wants to throw. Yes, the Falcons are now being sent, massive raid on the villagers, but honestly, Tabben might just lead the villagers there. He doesn't really care. He really doesn't mind this because he sees his position in Minimalt's base. So he's going to keep on pushing. Minimalt kind of needs a vill pool at the moment. Like, no joke. You cannot let this like type of army in your base and just think it's all fine. There's Minutemen being called. More skirmishers. He's out of gold actually, so he's struggling to get any more units, and this might be a forced vill pool here to protect the Falconets. Will we see the Falconets come out? I think he'll pull him behind the town centre. Yep, there we go. That's where the mark is. Falcons unpacked. CDB's being put in to kill the war wagons. Great volley on the first set of skirmishers. That raid was highly successful. Some villas went down, and then Germany just backing out of this. Let's just look at the size of forces remaining. 10 Jaeger, 10 skirm, 6 war wagons here. France does have some units. It's just out of res, and there is Ulan's raiding on the dragoons, but he also knows that the Falcons are exposed, and the war wagons are going to go moving and poke this off. Ulan's actually on top, killing the goons in melee. That's pretty big. Falcons going down. Ulan's onto the skirmishers as well. CDB are fighting, not gathering. Reinforcements here for Minimalt are just not coming in at all. He's not trained vills. He's got no gold. He's got a little bit of food income, but how and where does this happen? It doesn't. Jaeger's moving forward. War wagons backing this up. CDB's tanking, and yeah, I think Minimalt's going for the last hurrah here because it might. Minimalt may be able to win the fight, but it doesn't. He's not going to be able to win the war. He realizes that, and he taps out, and the final game does go to Tabben. Well played there. Tabben takes a 3-2 victory over Minimalt, so he earns himself 3 points for his team for CMC. Minimalt takes him 2 points, so it's only a 1 point swing there in favour of the Crassier Management Company. And over a play of 5, Tabben showing his absolute strength. This game in particular all came down to that Age 1 wood treasure. It's always so risky taking a treasure out on the map, which is like wood based or food or gold based or XP based, but most likely wood based, where you kind of like rely your builds to kind of work from it. Sometimes in that situation there, you kind of want to have 2 or 3 vills just chopping on the trees and thinking, if I get this treasure, great. It helps me a little bit. If I don't get this treasure, doesn't matter. Got a contingency plan. I'm still chopping to get that house to keep my build going. But Minimalt's build just hard stopped Age 1, and then from there he was always playing catch up, and there's some good play there from Tabben. But imagine to get CDBs and 1k wood, I think really kind of sealed the deal there from Germany's point of view. They had the economy, they had the infrastructure, and they could just absolutely spam villager population. Just kind of see it's really delay here, 12 vills for a long time, and also 13 vills to 14 was a bit of a jump, longer than you would expect it to be. Aging up as the next age at 442. It's about 20 seconds later than France normally ages up, I think. German age up 415 or 416 on 16 vil. Usually they age up on the 17 vil. So it feels really weird how Germany aged up before France, and the German 3 set their wagon shipment, and the fact they get Ulan's in age 2 really drives that age 2, and to have such an advantage early on as a result, it's made it even more impossible. And just Minimalt's villager production was just fragmented at times as a result, and really awkward. And Tabben was able to play smart, play seriously, and close the game off later on. Minimalt did come back with a decent amount of military units in the third age, so that did surprise me. But I think Tabben had it eventually all covered and all worked out, and the XP from here will just drive even more units there from Germany in as the game goes on. Like, France was completely out of hunt, and you can kind of see that in the resources as he's had to start fighting the CDBs. So that brings this first series of the EPL over, or should I say first series that I'm casting. Turns out that quite a lot of recorded games are having troubles with out of sync issues, and they're not really being publicly available, so I'm struggling to find the content. But once series are being played, I'll try and get on as many as I can, but that's kind of relies on when I'm free as well, so it'll be a bit tough in places, but still what a cracking series between Minimort and Tabben, and we'll hope to catch as many more series as possible. If you're new here, make sure you like and subscribe. Stick around, plenty more character content coming your way, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.